Good morning and welcome to Opinions from Mary. Today I'm going to be caulking to prep for paint so that the high gloss bright white paint that I put on my trim looks professional. This old house with various professionals has a lot of flaws, obviously. And one of them is the gaps in the woodworking trim and the brad nail holes, and basically caulk and some paint will go a long way. So let me point out some of the defects that I'm seeing. This right here is ridiculous. And this right here is ridiculous, but it is in as tight as it's gonna go. This up here is ridiculous. These brad nails, oh my gosh, it is so ridiculous. So, here's another really good ridiculous one. I like that cut. Anyway, this trim, oh, it's a little loose there. It's in as tight as it looks like it's gonna go. I'll take a hammer and beat it in. But I do want to fill all this in so that when I put a coat of paint on this, it's professional. And this I noticed when I was painting, and I got some trim behind this door. Let me pull this guy off. I decided, deviating a little bit, I like this fan. So in looking at what kind of flooring to go with, it was either this, which matches the walls, or this, which is a cherrywood, which actually matches the fan blades. So guess what I decided to go with? The cherrywood. Now, over here, this piece of trim I took off. I'll pull it off with my hand. Actually, we'll do this a little easier here, to where you can see what I'm doing. Or I could use two hands. I'll get my hammer. And I'm going to take this trim off. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, the reason is, I don't know if you can see these brad nails in here. They were long, like out to, get rid of this hammer. They were like, here we go. I cut off like at least a good inch on this. And being that it's just me doing this house, I'm gonna cut off a little bit more, and I'll tell you why. Looking down here at the trim, where the flooring is gonna butt in, if I put that there, I don't have enough room for, the padding, the vapor barrier that's gonna go underneath. So, and another thing is, I have a big gap up there. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna put this down to where I actually get it in spots. So down on the floor here, that piece of trim is sitting, the molding is sitting right on that floor. So I wanna bring it up a little bit. And being that it's just me and I don't have anybody here to hold this, what I found that works pretty good is to actually snip these so that it's just a little bit of a bite to hold on. Now when I come in and do the baseboard after the flooring is in, I'm going to be using an air compressor, a brad gun, brad nails to do it professionally. But for right now, I just want to get it lined up, and if it sticks in nice enough, I'm actually gonna make this blend in good with some paint, because I'd rather paint before. So what I'm doing now is I'm just trimming this off. And there's still a little bit of a nub, you see that? To grab on, to hold a little bit. And I'm gonna do this one here too. Okay, and I'm gonna straighten these out a little bit so that they go straight into the drywall to hold. Okay, because if it holds, I'm gonna paint it. course, I will come back in then with the brag gun and shoot it in so it stays permanently, but for right now. So what I want to do is I want to raise up the flooring a little bit to get this in nice and tight. I'm just going to grab another piece of wood, which is going to be way too high for what I'm doing, but yeah, it'll work anyway. Or another thing I could do is just use this cardboard, which I think that looks like the better option, because the cardboard is about as thick as the vapor barrier, a little bit more, versus this is much thicker than the cardboard. Okay, so right now I'm going to try to come into where I have as tight as possible. And that looks like that's working nicely. See that? Wow, good. I couldn't do that before where I didn't have something to hold it, and I ended up with a gap on that thing like that thick. You know, that's not good. So I'm going to take my nail hammer, pound it in, and start tacking in stuff around this house. Alright, so bring this in a little bit. It is off a little, but overall, and coming on down, see, seems to be holding pretty nicely. So as far as throwing a bunch of caulk in there to smooth everything out, I'm not going to be using as much. And then when it's time to put the baseboard in, I have the brad gun, the air compressor running, we will secure that even better. So for right now, let us get started on this horrible area here. Why don't I just try to get it to where you have a good view from where you're at. Hopefully, can you see me well? No, can't. But over here you can. That looks like it's okay. Alright, so we'll work up on top. For punching in the brads, these tools, they're punches, and they come in different sizes. I have several of these. Here's the small one. So I'm going to use this to punch in some of these brad spots. Okay, that one. Oh yes, the construction. There's dirt behind there. Anyway, these will all fill in nicely with a little bit of caulk. So when I come back, we will start to caulk.